Hey everyone, this
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Realty Ruckus right out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, Gibran Hernandez, David Bonilla, and here's shortly our resident attorney, Ashley Patten. Thank you guys for joining us today. We are here to help your real estate business grow. And before we get started, I always like to talk about a little bit about something that's happening with our personal lives. Usually it's something that's happening with my life, but I'll tell you guys, this week is a tough week in real estate. And I don't know if you guys feel the pressure out there or not, but the pressure comes from literally having too many events to go to, right? So many events that you actually have to pick out which ones you can attend.
It's like Christmas all over again.
Yeah, really. I mean, seriously, it's a hard thing to do when you're having to celebrate every day.
Yeah, it is.
There he is. All right. So, careful, Ashley Patten is walking into the building, and he may trip on some wires. There he is. Anyway, so all right, Tuesday was the NAREP happy hour, which by the way was phenomenal. Thank you guys for coming out, and I want to give a big shout out to my friend Frankie Bonilla from Supreme Lending. He gave away a Michael Kors purse.
Oh wow!
And he gave and an Apple iWatch. My wife asked me for an Apple iWatch.
Was it real or fake?
It was a real Apple iWatch, and I did not realize how expensive those things are.
I'm talking about the purse.
Oh, the Michael Kors purse?
Yeah.
Real purse. Yeah, I mean,
I know Frankie will.
So big shout out to Frankie for doing that. It really made
awesome.
the event just go to the next level. It was a great event. Then yesterday we had Reem. And Reem was with Jeff Emerson and his dad and his whole crew, which was a great event. We went out there for a little bit, and as soon as that one got started, about an hour in, I had to leave because I had a presentation over at Quest. So I literally shot over to I-10 and Timbuktu, talked a little bit, and then now today we're going to Leader One's opening of a new office.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy, man. They're gonna have margaritas. Free beer, free margaritas, free tequila shots, mariachi band, door prizes, dancing.
Nice.
It's gonna be
So
insane.
this morning I finally I RSVP'd for that event, and one of the people on the actual invite goes, "Hey Alan, it's gonna be great to see you." I was like, "Look, if you have mariachi, margaritas, tequila, and food, that's about what it takes to get me out to pretty much any event, right?"
Yeah.
So, but no, besides that, we're really happy for Rudy. Rudy's opening this new branch, and Leader One is becoming a part of the NAREP network. So they're becoming partners nationally for us.
That's terrific.
So we're really excited to be able to support them in their event today as well. All right, and then of course we got El Cinco del Drinko, Cinco de Mayo tomorrow,
Yes.
and then there's another organization opening up another.
Yeah, New American Funding. They're doing a new branch opening down in Sugar Land. Here pretty close to us, and they're going to be doing a little celebration that we'll definitely be hitting up.
So we'll probably head out there and support them as well, and show them a little bit of love. So here's the thing: today is 4 de Mayo. We get that, but it's also in celebration of
Star
what you
Wars.
guys see right here. You see
Yes.
that? You
May
see
the
that?
Fourth be with you.
We're celebrating. So we want to wish all of you guys
May
a
the 4th
Oh,
be with
I
you.
got you at it.
Where's yours, Ashley? Where you at?
Hey, right here.
There you go.
Boom, there he is.
Right here. Boom.
When in doubt, just grab something on the table, right?
Hell
And
yeah.
everything on the table happens to be from Star Wars.
Nice.
right.
Now, what do you guys do to celebrate the 4th? Do you guys have like a thing you do? I know you probably have to do something, David, because you're a fan.
I am. I'm a big Star Wars nerd, but Rudy Zarate has got that pretty awesome party going on tonight. So
Yeah.
I'll have to celebrate there.
Oh, I'll bring my force to that party. That's for sure.
Right.
I'm bringing the force.
You watch out, Rudy. I'm bringing the force.
So last year, my family and I celebrated by literally watching the entire series.
Really?
Awesome,
It was
man.
we just took the weekend.
Wow.
We took the weekend, and that's all we did.
Hey,
And
did you watch them in proper Star Wars order?
in exact Star Wars order,
Well, I mean, not the way that they were made, the way that you should watch
the
them.
way that you should watch them.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And
Wait, what are you talking about?
Carlos Elias said, hey, I-10 is not Timbuktu, okay?
Well, you watch Star Wars, you forget the whole not the New Hope, but the one with Anakin was a little kid. You just delete that one, right?
You can delete all the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, what you're,
right?
I know what you're talking about. You're talking
They're a little
about where
boring.
you view it like A New Hope, and then the episode 2.
So you start
Right.
on number 4 and do 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3.
No.
Well, no.
It's
You
different.
start. You do 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3.
The only one that I
When-
regret
when do you watch
watching
4?
is Jar Jar Binks. The one with
Jar Jar
Binks.
Binks.
That's
Get
what
rid
he
of that
meant.
one.
I cannot stand that one.
Yeah.
If we could just erase that one completely from the series, I,
I think
it'd be a
Steven
much
Spielberg
better
wishes that
series.
too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Jar Jar Binks was a debacle.
It was the worst thing.
Yeah.
The worst
Well, you
character.
know the
to
secret,
add on.
right? Jar Jar Binks is supposed to be the most ultimate, awesome Sith Lord out there.
Well, of
Really?
course.
Yeah, that's what the rumors are, but nobody liked it, so they just made him like this big drunk buffoon. And he was really annoying.
I hope he never comes back. I mean, if we could just not see him ever again, I think we will all be better off, and we'll all continue to love Star Wars. So
I think if you watched The New Hope, or Rogue One, I think Jar Jar Binks was the blind guy.
That's a new fan theory.
yeah, okay,
That
all
guy
right.
was awesome. Don't hate on him.
That's new.
I mean, reincarnated as a blind guy, folks.
Anyway, guys, we have a great show planned out for you
We
guys
really do.
today. We're going to be right back, and we're going to start talking about the 10 most awesome books that everyone should be reading
It'll
out there.
follow up to last week.
Yeah.
We're going to follow up last week's conversation because I've had people tell me that they've been listening to Jim Rohn in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be
You
right
are
back. You
awesome.
are on the Realty Ruckus.
You are awesome. Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, David, what's the weather look like for us this weekend?
Well, guys, thankfully we have Ashley Patten in studio today, which means we are getting a healthy dose of sunshine this week.
There we go.
I'm seeing today we're sunny. We got a little bit of wind, but a high of 75 and a low of 57. You guys might have noticed it was a little bit chillier today. I thought it felt pretty good. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, literally it says sunny, sunny, sunny. Highs in the low 80s, and then lows in the high 50s,
That's what happens
low
when you
60s.
bring Ashley in.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that sunshine.
He does his little
That was actually pretty good, David. You did good. I'm impressed.
approved
You
or
did
not
an all
approved
right
by
job.
Ashley.
Yeah.
As long as Ashley Patten approves.
I do
You know what?
approve.
By the way, Ashley was just telling us during the break he got engaged this weekend.
I know, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations,
Thank you very much.
Ashley. That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, she actually said yes.
Who
That's
would
what
think that?
that's what I'm most surprised
It's
about.
a surprise to all
We
of
are
us.
worried for her.
Oh, I tell you, I'm worried for her too. I mean,
We want to know how you swindled her into that one.
Yeah. Hey, so last week we were talking a little bit about one of the things that separates the rich from the poor, and we decided that the one major thing that
Well, we didn't decide that. The study decided.
The study decided.
The
The
research
study decided.
shows. Hey,
The
we
research
make the study.
showed that the one thing that made a big impact was reading. 30 minutes of reading a day, which is what the largest percentage of highly influential and wealthy people do versus people who simply don't. Right? And so it was really cool because we threw a couple things out there, a couple names, and just some things that we were doing in our morning routines and whatnot. And in all of that, BB decided to make fun of me for listening to Jim Rohn in the mix in the mornings.
Your life will change.
because this is Jim Rohn telling you, reading his book essentially, or going through his speeches,
Right.
but over some hip hop
Over a hip-hop
beats.
track.
Over some hip hop beats.
Yeah.
So I throw it on in the morning sometimes, and my kids and I love it. We just listen to it, and it's fun for us, and we get a chance to maybe learn a little something.
Does he
here and there.
rhyme?
Anyway, yeah, it does. It does.
Not always, because sometimes it'll be like, stop talking about your problems and deal with your problems.
Wow.
Stop talking about your problems.
Anyways, you guys
and
have
he'll
to listen
repeat
to it to
over and over
understand
and
how
over.
awesome it is. It's on Spotify.
I gotta listen
Besides
to
all
this.
that, I had a couple people that were like, "Hey, by the way, I started listening and I love it." And I was like, "Whoa, people are actually listening to the show."
Oh, yeah.
So before we tell you guys to listen to more Jim Rohn in the mix, we wanted to give you guys at least a handful of books that we think everyone out there should read, should be reading, putting it on your
Absolutely.
automobile MBA, and pay attention to some of this stuff because it really helps your everyday business.
Absolutely
And
essential.
this is a list we found online. So what we went and did is we took out some of the books maybe we don't know as well, and we added some of our own that we have read and are good for real estate specifically.
Yeah. So, all right. So you guys want to go through the list 1 through 10, and then just talk about our list, or let's just go through our list?
Yeah, let's go through our list. I mean,
Yeah.
I read a couple here on the list, so maybe we can go through a couple of those.
Cool. Well, all right. So the first one, BB, you've read this one. You
I
love
love
it.
this
You
book.
talk about this all the
Yeah,
time.
every day I talk about this book, and really because this book, it's called the compound effect, but what it should be called is stop bitching about everyone else in your life and start doing something about your life yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's really.
And I
the
don't think
main
that
point
would
of the
fit
book.
on the front cover, so they
Yeah,
went with
yeah.
the compound effect.
Right. That's a long title. Long title.
That's why I don't get paid to make titles for books. But no, the compound
Stick
effect
to real estate.
is if there's anything in your life that you're dealing with, like let's say you feel like you spend too much money on lunch, you feel like you're not reading enough, you feel like there's just something in your life that's missing.
Yeah.
The compound effect gives you the tools and the strategies to make sure that you're implementing those things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it does everything in 21-day segments. So it literally says, take this out, do it for 21 days, write it down, document it, and it really describes it really well. And if you do it, you 21 days later, you're like, holy shit, my life is different.
And who doesn't need to do some of that stuff out there? Who doesn't want to
man.
lose weight? Who doesn't want to start working out? Who doesn't
Yeah.
want to implement some reading time? Who doesn't want to, whatever it is,
Right.
increase your performance of this or that, whatever. Everyone always wants to be better. So yeah, this is a perfect book that gives you the tools to do that. The next one is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Now I read
I
this
like this one
book.
too.
I read this book when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to it by reading another book, which was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I followed up with this one. And I can tell you that I can remember the difference between the person that I was before this book and after this book, because this book opened up a whole lot of doors for me. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. One
Yeah.
of the absolute best reads, simple.
Oh, it's the classic when it comes to
it's just-
self-help books.
It's so perfect, and it's what's crazy about it. It's stuff that you already probably know. You've probably already read it or heard about it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't actually make sense to you. Literally see it in here, and you start implementing some of these tools.
And the thing that some people come to me and they say once they start reading this book is basically like, I already know this stuff. It's so simple. It's so stupid, basically.
What's funny about all of these books is you think you know everything in them already.
Yeah.
But until you read it and you're like, oh, yeah, I probably should be doing that.
Well, it's stuff that you may know or you've heard
Yeah.
of, but if you're not implementing, it doesn't make any difference
Exactly,
in your life.
exactly.
And so that's what I loved about this book is it gave us real examples on things that you can do on an everyday basis, little simple things that you can practice and they make a huge difference in your overall performance and how things work.
Yeah.
All right, just a couple more just so we can finish the segment.
Oh, we got to come back. We got to get
All right, well, we got to take
done.
a quick commercial break. You guys are on the Realty Ruckus. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we were talking about books that we read. We had a list of 10. We got through 2.
It's May 4th. It's May 4th. We're celebrating the Force today.
May the 4th be with you.
We're celebrating the Force. I figured today is a perfect day to
I gotta
be
say
nerdy.
it with my Mike Tyson accent I had last time. May the 4th be with you.
No, I was saying it's a perfect day for us to be nerdy and talk about the books we read.
Yeah, I
and
love this
encourage
one
everyone
because
out there to read books.
Last time we kind of just drilled it into everybody's head that you got to read, you got to read, you got to read. But then we didn't tell them what to read.
Yeah, now we're telling you what to read.
Some people went out there and bought, I don't even want to know what they bought.
Yeah.
And now they're like, hey, this isn't working for me.
I'm not getting any better.
I'm not getting it. This Kama Sutra book has nothing in it I can use in my business.
50 Shades of Grey doesn't work for you.
50 Shades?
Or is it 50 Shades of Grey or something like that?
Something like that.
Oh, you know the title.
Look at Ashley
he's read it a couple
pretending
times,
over there,
front and back.
pretending.
All right, what other books do we have on the docket here?
So I think one of them is really important. You got to look at it. Founder of Keller Williams, Gary Keller. He's put out 2 amazing books. Mm-hmm. If you are a real estate agent, or really if you're in any industry, you can take the principles. But if you're a real estate agent, this is a literal blueprint on how to run a business. Mm-hmm. And it gives you everything down to how much marketing you need to be doing, how to be doing it, how often to be reaching out to your clients, how to reach out to your clients, how to get new clients. It's everything. And it's called The Millionaire Realtor and The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. There's 2 separate ones.
The Millionaire
Millionaire Real Estate Investor, I'm sorry, and The Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Both great books.
And they're amazing, both of them. You can't go wrong with them.
Yeah, definitely. If you're in real estate, you have to read these books.
Yes, absolutely.
So those are 2 you want to pick up. Let's talk about the other one. This is one that's really impacted a lot of your life here recently.
It has, and because the title of the book is misleading. This book was recommended to me by a guy that runs an ISA department with over 100 ISAs, okay? Mm-hmm. And he said, the reason that I needed this was because I didn't know how to communicate with all of my employees. Mm-hmm. And the book is called How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk. And that's not to say that your employees are kids or that you're working with kids, but it just gives you the basics on how to talk with other human beings.
I wonder why he was making baby noises at me in the office.
Right. Oh, wow, 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 David.
Wow.
That's how he communicates now.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
He just starts crying when he's hungry.
It really is just a very clear book on how to communicate with people so that your voice gets heard, but you also acknowledge what they're trying to say. Have you ever felt like that tension in a workplace where people feel like they can't say anything because they're just wrong? This book teaches you how to make not people wrong, but really listen to what they have to say and acknowledge them for having those thoughts and those ideas, but not necessarily, you don't have to use all of them either.
Right.
So it's a really good book in that sense.
No, it sounds great. I like the next one. I read that one, the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover, and that one's really helped me.
We're throwing this one in because for some of the viewers that watch our show, you'll know that one of the referral sources that we have are through Dave Ramsey, and this is a book that you as a real estate agent, and for anyone out there that you're helping with the sale of their house or for buying a house, this is something that you can share with anyone out there. And I gotta tell you, everyone out there needs this kind of information.
Oh, I agree.
And I say it this way, and I say this because there is no real school for financial, savviness, financial.
Yeah. That's a good way to
whatever,
put it, yeah.
So this book gives you a couple steps on ways to get out of debt, which is really important. Being debt free, not being a slave to the system, and then. Not once you're debt free, living a life of what you want to do, not literally having to work forever for someone else. So it's a really great way to kind of freshen up any ideas that you or preconceived notions on money, and a great way for you to give a great gift for someone who maybe just might need a little bit of that knowledge too. So anyway, the next one is the E-Myth. Now the E-Myth, there's a couple versions, and what I loved about this book was that it literally gives you the inside look on an entrepreneur's point of view on how the business operates and what things work and what things don't work. Now, the one that I read and the one that I would recommend for any person out there who's in real estate is the brokerage one. It's called the E-Myth Revised for Brokerages. What I loved most about it was that it literally breaks down what works inside of a brokerage and what doesn't. And we've taken a lot of really good information from this book.
What's amazing about the book, The E-Myth for Brokerages, is that it's written half by an actual brokerage owner, and it's a really big brokerage out of the Phoenix area, and he will take you through his highest highs and his lowest lows. And normally when you read a book, you only hear about how great people are, but you don't hear about. He talks about his bankruptcy on there. Like, how often does somebody really get into that and tell the truth about that? And so it's very eye-opening, and he tells you, these are the mistakes I made. Like, he's really pinpointed what mistakes he made so that you don't make those same mistakes. I thought it was phenomenal.
Speaking of entrepreneurship, speaking of the things that we deal with on an everyday basis, if you're in real estate, you are an entrepreneur in some way or another. You have that entrepreneur bug. Not only should you read this book, but it's actually something that we wanted to talk about today. And do we have enough time to cover some of the burdens on
definitely
on entrepreneurship? Yeah. So we wanted to talk to you guys about the burdens that come with being an entrepreneur and how it affects everyone psychologically, because it's not the easiest thing to go out there and start your own business. Last night I was at the Quest event, and I had one of the Quest members come up and started telling me about what he was doing and whatnot. And he told me, "Hey, I just started my IT business," and I was like, "Oh, that's great. How long have you been working on it?" "Oh, I just started it 6 months ago. We just opened our doors like 2 or 3 weeks ago," and all I wanted to do was like hug the guy, just be like, "Dude, you are so brave," and because I know what he's getting ready to go through. I know that it's not the easiest thing on earth to literally go out there and just open up your own business.
Oh, no.
So in the midst of that conversation, I end up telling him there's going to be a night or two, or maybe more than that, where you're going to probably not get a lot of sleep. You may sweat
Or
a few.
you may just sit at home and cry.
Yeah. You may sweat a few bullets. You may wonder, how the heck the sun's going to come out the next day. But I promise you, when you wake up, when eventually the sun rises. You put your pants on one leg at a time, and everything will fall into place. And he was like, man, I really needed to hear that. So this is why we wanted to bring this to the table. So number one, accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability in terms of what?
Well, that's a huge psychological burden for especially newer entrepreneurs coming from the corporate world, or out of school, where you've been told from 9 to 5 exactly what your function and role is supposed to be as a human being. And then when you decide to take on a business for yourself, you're the one that has to do that now.
Yeah. And
a
then
lot
when
of
things
people
don't get
aren't prepared
done,
for that. Yeah.
when things don't get done, whose fault is it?
It's the boss man, which is you.
Yeah, when you go home at night, your job's not done.
It's never done.
And
Your
also,
mind's always thinking.
Even when you have like a partnership, when you're somebody, because if you're like me, you overthink things a lot. And that's a really big struggle as an entrepreneur, because sometimes you're thinking, and things are passing you by while you're thinking.
While you're still thinking.
Yeah, you're still thinking, and the world doesn't stop to say, okay, everyone pause while Jabron finishes thinking. Like, baby needs to get his thinking on, so everything else stop. So you really have to be really good about that and hold yourself accountable to just making decisions, whether they come out positive or negative on the other end.
Accountability portion, in my opinion, is what drives the stress levels really, really high.
Yeah.
Because when you're operating the business, every decision that you make can impact your bottom line.
Yeah.
And it can impact it to the point where you're going to be either wildly successful or just completely crash and burn.
Well, and that really ties into number 2, which is the financial stress and uncertainty.
Yep.
Because like you said, you have that stress. You don't know, is that money going to come in tomorrow or not? And so you have that uncertainty of, man, am I really going to make it, or am I just climbing this never-ending mountain?
Yeah, and things like this are what keep people from literally leaving their 9 to 5 job and saying, hey, I want to jump into real estate.
And it's also the reason, like 90% of realtors eventually quit?
Well, not just realtors. Business owners altogether.
Yeah, that's true.
New businesses, the majority of them fail. And it's like the large majority, not even a small portion. So, yeah, definitely financial stress and uncertainty, especially when you're starting up. Number 3, reluctance of trust. Now, what does that actually mean when we're talking about reluctance of trust?
Well, I think one of the big things is you got to start hiring people.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that plenty of times. It's hard to let go of things that you feel you can do better than everybody else, really.
Yeah.
Maybe not the case.
And this is what I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs. Almost every entrepreneur I've ever met uses these words. That's my baby.
Yeah.
When they talk about their companies, that's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
And when you really think about what that means, you keep your eyes on your baby all the time.
Yeah.
You don't want to let go. You don't want to hand that over to some stranger who God knows what he could do with your baby.
With your baby.
Yeah. That's the first baby. I think on the second one it might be different.
It's totally true.
And it very well could be.
Really?
It could be the very well same thing with a business. Once you've done 1 or 2 businesses, it's not that difficult to hand it over the reins. But man, when it comes time, I remember when I hired my very first secretary to help with QuickBooks.
Yeah.
I was so terrified.
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified. I was like, oh my God, they're going to run my business into the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a strong resistance there. You want to be the one in control of everything in your business.
And you're absolutely right. The reluctance there is that you don't feel someone can do it as well as you can do it.
Yeah.
But the rule is if someone else can do it 80% as good as you,
It's success.
then it is a success, right? All right, so the next portion of this is something that I think everyone in real estate struggles with.
Before you go there, I just had this one thought jump into my head. Sometimes you think you're the best at doing something, and then you hire someone and you realize
way better.
that they're actually 120% of what you are. They're not just 80%.
Yeah.
So that giving that trust and that relief to go to somebody else sometimes really works in your favor.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And it's happened to me several times when I've completely forgotten to do something, and all of a sudden Brandon comes in and he's like, oh, I already took care of it. And I'm like, Oh, well, heck, I would have forgotten, you know?
You know, and that should be on this list, but that's the difference between a novice and a professional entrepreneur.
Yeah.
A novice entrepreneur would see him better, would get jealous, and fire him.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Huh.
because they don't want him to be better at him because they're too proud.
Yeah.
Pride
Wow.
comes before the fall.
I hadn't considered that.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess that hasn't happened to us. Work-life balance is the next portion, and this is something I really harp on a lot.
Yeah,
and
this one's tough.
And I harp on it a lot because I think it's one of the toughest parts of being an entrepreneur. Because when you're first getting started, when you're still setting things up, when you're still hiring, when you're still learning to let go,
Yep.
what's happening is that the business consumes you, and it consumes every part of your life.
Well,
It
that's
com-
like Ashley said. When you go
Yeah.
home at night, you're still thinking. Your
Yep.
brain's still
Yeah.
buzzing. It's still moving.
You still have ideas going on,
Yeah.
things you want to implement.
Phone's
You're
still
still
ringing.
exchanging emails.
How many times have you guys just laid in bed and thought, damn it, I may as well just get up because
Yeah.
I have so many things going on in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not even sleeping right now. I may as well get up and do stuff.
Exactly, exactly. All right, which is interesting because this one leads to the next one, which is entrepreneurial loneliness.
Yes,
All
very
right.
much so.
So because you feel as an entrepreneur, because you feel that you are the only one that lives this way, even though you're not, but you feel that way, it leads to you thinking that you're alone. It leads to that feeling of crap. Am I the only one that literally
Most of the population doesn't take on the risk you're taking on.
Yeah.
And most of the you're the boss man. So when
Yeah.
you're the boss, there's kind of a divide
and
sometimes.
it makes it very difficult because you don't when you're the boss man, you don't talk about your feelings specifically
Yeah.
with your employees.
You got to be stoic and you got to take
Yeah.
it all on with a calm face, even though your
Exactly.
business might be on the
Even
brink of
though
collapse.
you may be sweating bullets, you gotta still look like a champ. Anyways, we wanted to share some of these things with you because we know that these things affect you, and we want you guys to know that whether you're out there selling, buying, whatever it is you're doing, you're not alone. Let us know. Talk to us. We're here. We're here to help. We gotta take a quick commercial break. You guys are on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket. And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we want to go ahead and jump straight, into our legal segment with Ashley, since we've got him here in the house. And we want to get right into it. We want to talk about
Let's sue.
Let's
Let's
This is
do
hard
Zillow
to
over
say.
those estimates.
This is
Yes.
hard to
Hey,
say.
that was
Wow,
the
man.
emperor making you say that.
Yeah.
My tongue got all twisted on there.
We want to talk about what it's going to take to sue Zillow.
Yes.
Right.
Let's take Zillow to court.
And we want to take Zillow straight to court. So we are in our courtroom setting for today. And we want to take them to court for giving us the wrong values. But not just us, for giving our clients the wrong value. For going out there and telling our clients their home is either worth more than it is or not worth enough. And
So yeah. No, absolutely. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Right?
to cut you off. Yeah, I
so
was gonna say-
I'm like the attorney that's like ticked off and like yelling at Zillow for doing this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when we want to look at one very real case right now.
Yep. It's actually happening.
So this is happening in California in a neighborhood where home values are really high, but this homeowner, they have a house and their Zestimate is coming in really low.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sell their house and they're saying, hey, our offers are coming in super low because everyone is looking on Zillow and thinking that that's a real value when it's just a really sloppy computer generated number. Ashley, do they have a case?
No, they don't have a case because under the internet security law, ISPs such as Google, Bing, Zillow, they can't be sued for what their content is.
Yeah.
All they are is a provider. They're a provider of information, other parties' information. So ultimately, it's a nice case to talk about. It's a nice wish, but they're mute.
But isn't this Zillow? This is Zillow's proprietary algorithm that's coming up with these estimates.
They're going to say, hey, proprietary or not, all we're doing is providing a form. At the end of the day, they can say, I mean, see, slander, if you file somebody for slander, you got to show that they use their information. If they use an algorithm, it's not really their information. It's a bunch of numbers compiled up from somebody else's numbers.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That makes
I mean,
sense.
so all they're doing is an algorithm. I mean, you can sue them for an algorithm. I mean, that's like, suing Pope for being Catholic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and what's
Add
funny is
add that one to the book. Sue the Pope for being Catholic.
The Ashley book up there. Go ahead and write that one on there.
add to the Ashleyisms.
Ashleyisms.
Well, this is actually a real estate attorney out of Glenview, and it's actually Chicago. I know BB said California earlier, but it's actually
I'm
Chicago. And basically what this attorney is claiming is they're interested in getting Zillow to stop opining improperly as to their personal property. They're basically alleging that they don't have an appraisal license and they shouldn't be doing appraisals on properties without the owner's consent anyways.
That's an interesting argument. What do you think about that one, Ashley?
well, it's public information. I mean, appraisal is an opinion of value.
Yeah.
I mean, that's strictly what it is. And so it's just, at the end of the day, I think the reason why they're sued Zillow is because they sent a letter to Zillow that says, hey, give me a higher value. And Zillow says, no, we're sticking to our own guns. And so that's where his lawsuit came out. Before you sue, you always try to negotiate. And if they don't, you pull in the big guns. And so apparently this homeowner is really upset because how low is their value compared to where they think they should be?
So she's trying to sell her 3-bedroom townhome for $626,000, but Zillow's estimate has it at $555,000.
So pretty big
About
difference.
200 grand. It's about
pretty big
half of the
No,
value.
it's 626 versus 555.
Oh, okay. I
75,000 roughly.
Yeah. So I mean, still, it's a
20%.
big enough difference.
Yeah, it's
a big
about
enough
20%.
difference.
That's pretty huge.
So all right, so they're gonna go out there and try to sue them. Chances are they may not win. And worst case scenario, Zillow may at some point or eventually say, well, if you don't like our valuation, send us a proof of what your appraiser thinks it's worth or something like that.
Well, I got a question. So I go out there, I file a lawsuit, I've got a real offer, and I've got somebody who's saying, I would give you $550 for your property or $650 for your property, but because Zillow says it's only worth $550, that's the maximum I'm willing to offer. Do you have a case there for like tortious interference against Zillow for putting a number out there that shouldn't be out there?
Well, the whole thing about tortious interference is you have to have a contract, and you have to know about that contract and actively interfere. So Zillow's not actively interfering. They're throwing a number out there without a contract.
Yeah.
And they're expecting people, they're saying, hey, this is just a guide. They're all over the place. They're not sitting there.
Yeah, they do explicitly state that their estimate should not be used as an appraisal value.
Right.
So they do state that on their websites.
And quite frankly, if Zillow agreed to take every appraisal, Can you imagine what that would do for their business? The delays it would cause. I mean, it would basically shut them down because every house in America wanted to send them appraisal every time they got a high one.
Yeah.
And if they got a higher one, guess what? They're going to send a higher one.
Yeah.
Now, next thing you know, you open up your email and you got 10,000 appraisals every day.
Yeah. To upload.
I mean, it's a worthless thing of resources.
And so apparently Zillow also estimates on their Chicago-based website, the Chicago area homes, they come within 5% of the eventual sales price, but only 47% of the time. So half the time, it's like that, was it Sex Panther?
80% of the time, it works every time.
And then it comes within 20% of the sales price, 86% of the time. So they clearly state that their margin of error on there is quite high, but of course nobody reads the fine print.
Right. Nobody ever reads any of that. And I think it's silly that someone who is buying a $600,000 home would even look at Zillow and not know better, not have better education or a realtor at hand to tell them that that's probably not the best place to look for on valuation.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to Zillow discloses everything, and they tell you our values aren't crap. I mean, they literally come out and say it, like, don't use these numbers. These are just guesses.
And people use them.
There's a reason it's called a zestimate and not a appraisal.
Right.
I'm telling you, people use them. People really take these values like they are the final number.
Right.
It's incredible how people really do believe everything that's on the internet.
They believe everything on TV. Now they believe everything on the internet.
Yeah, really.
So let's go ahead and let's talk about, since we're already talking about ways that you can interfere with a contract.
Yeah.
What will count as tortious interference, and when can you use that argument? So, for example, let's say I put a house under contract, right, to purchase it.
Well, let's talk about like a real life scenario, like a real case scenario. So, was maybe a year or two ago. This is actually something that happened.
This really happened. So that's why I'm bringing up this one. But I put a property under contract. And
to purchase it.
And I'm going to change it just a little bit because I want to look at it this way. Another investor comes in, but he's licensed. Example, home investors guys.
Okay.
They're all licensed, right? He goes in, tells my client, oh, I would have given you a lot more money for the deal. You need to bust out of that contract so that we can go under contract. Is that tortious interference?
That's tortious interference, prima facie. I mean, because basically he knows about the contract, and he tells them, hey, bust out of it because I can do better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's when it's actionable. I mean, anytime you have a contract and somebody comes in behind you and smashes your contract, file a memorandum of contract on them. I mean, inevitably, that person who ended up breaching on you, that person probably ended up being the one that pays you off, not the seller, but the buyer, but the other buyer.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And then so my other question is, in that situation of tortious interference, does it matter if they're licensed or not?
No.
Can it be like the nosy neighbor who goes over there and says, oh, you shouldn't have sold your house for so much? Then can you actually do something about that?
Well, you got to prove that nosy neighbor actually knows there's a contract out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because nosy neighbor just basically says you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, when in reality they know nothing.
Yeah.
Well, in one of the cases, I don't know if you remember this one, it was a realtor, so it was a house that we were purchasing to renovate. We had already determined what the sales price was going to be. Everything was in writing. We had a contract in place. We were actually getting ready to go to closing, and we had a nosy realtor in this case, who said, had you listed it with me, I could have gotten you a whole lot more.
That's right. Yeah.
And then all of this was in writing, and we got a chance to see all of it. So
were you guys at closing already, or
no? I mean,
we were. We were supposed to go to closing. And we were we were at the closing table. Uh-huh. All the funds had already been wired. And we're like, where are these people at?
Yeah.
And I called them because I'm like, man, I'm just going to go pick them up and bring them here. They're having a hard time getting here. And we call and they're like, oh, actually, we changed our mind because our realtor said that you guys are ripping us off. And we're going to sue you for taking advantage of us and not paying enough for our property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that tortious interference? Now, this realtor knows there's a contract. Obviously, as a realtor, your intention is to look out for the best interest of your quote unquote client. Mm-hmm. Now, whether this realtor existed, when we were dealing with this person or not, we still don't know. But her advice was, you need to bust out of that contract so that I can list it for you.
I can sell it for more. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Well, at first when you talked about it, it sounded like bragging.
Yeah.
But whenever she had the clients alternate their course of action, that's when it became tortious. So anybody can say, hey, I'm bigger than you, I'm faster than you, I'm better than you.
You're just bragging.
You're bragging.
Yeah.
But when you take something on bragging and then you boast it and then you put your money where your mouth is and says, hey, cancel this contract because I can do better.
Yeah.
At that time, it changes from bragging to actual tort. And what a tort is a civil wrong. And so when you have a tortious interference of contract, you have a civil wrong with someone's contract. And it's essentially what it means.
Now, does E&O insurance cover those type of cases?
They will cover torts.
Wow.
They will cover torts, but they will not cover, they cover most torts, but they don't cover some of the intentional ones. Like, for instance, if you take out a gun and you shoot somebody, that's a tort that they won't cover. So minor torts they cover, but big torts they won't. Like murder, no.
Yeah. Got it.
I just can't imagine trying to file that claim on your insurance. Well, I murdered him because he really was making me mad.
I mean, it was a tort, it was a civil wrong. No, it was murder, so it goes beyond a tort to murder.
Got it, okay.
But this kind of stuff happens all the time. I mean, it even happens between realtors. I see it all the time where a client will sign with a certain realtor, then the next realtor will come along and say, hey, had you listed it with me, I could have done this, this. I need you to cancel that listing agreement.
And what's amazing, we talked about this before, when you cancel a listing agreement, you don't cancel the contractual rights. You just fire the realtor.
Yeah.
And so people are on the hook all the times for a 12% commission because they hired this realtor who agreed to pay 6 and pay the other agent 3. Then they fire him. They hire the next realtor who charged the same 6% and pay the other side 3. So when the house sells, guess what? There's 12% being charged.
Really?
The old realtor who got fired and the new realtor who actually did the deal.
Wow.
So the old realtor actually did all right.
Not bad.
Now, if a client wanted to do that without having to pay that realtor, is there anything that they could do, some specific form or something?
Negotiate.
Yeah.
Negotiate, because the realtor has got to let them out of the contractual rights. Without that, they have them locked up. That's what exclusive listing is.
All right, so if you're out there and you are the agent that's letting people know to cancel their contracts, watch out. Stop now, because eventually it catches up to you.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy the way this industry works, because there's 33,000 agents. As of the last thing I heard, there's 33,000 agents here in Houston. But I can tell you that only a couple hundred are the ones that run almost the entire city, and all of those know each other. And there's always those handful that are known for approaching people and asking them to cancel contracts.
Without
and eventually it just catches up. Anyway, don't forget, you guys are on the Realty Ruckus. We are going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get back to you guys with a quick tip of the day, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket. And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we're getting into the end of our show here. We've had a really, really, really awesome show today.
Yeah.
Gave people books that they need to be reading, talked about the struggles of being an entrepreneur, and then jumped into some pretty interesting legal topics, things that you've probably done wrong out there, and you want to make sure you're not doing wrong. So make sure you listen to that if you haven't listened to it. If you're just catching up with us, Alan is getting ready to give you his tip of the day. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to give you guys the tip because we love doing that here on this show. And one of the things that we want to talk about is what we are not taking advantage of enough, which is free marketing. And who doesn't love that?
Free? If it's free, I'll take 3.
Exactly. But you would be surprised how many people literally will not do it because they're so scared of doing what they're supposed to be doing. Right? So if you're in real estate, what is the major thing that you should be focusing on? Letting people know about what you do.
Yeah,
marketing
yourself.
Marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Now, most people think marketing involves letters, postcards, billboards. I don't know, buying something in the what were the yellow paper? What were those things?
Yellow pages.
Yellow pages. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
that
like
ancient book.
I don't even know what it's called anymore. So, but you know what's crazy is you have this little button, for example, on Facebook, where you can click on it and it just puts you at the top of everyone's news feed. It's the Go Live button. Now, it's not going to be free forever. There's no way it can be, right? But for now, if you click that button, immediately you get a chance to have a conversation with everyone on your friends list.
Exactly.
Everyone. And you don't have to wait for people to scroll through and hit like on your feed. No, it literally goes to the top, so everyone that's ever interacted with you knows exactly what you're doing and can join you, and you can have a conversation. So we want to give you guys some tips on literally going live.
How to get started,
and
how
why
to do
it's
it right.
important. Yeah, how to do it right. So what are some of the tips that we have for everyone out there today? First off, just do it. Just do it. I mean, there's no trick to it. There's nothing that you have to prep for.
I have a lot of agents that everyone out there knows that we're bringing in new agents, and I talk to a lot of them. And one of the reasons they're attracted to our brokerage is because we do the live streaming, we do videos, the video marketing, and they always tell me, well, I really want to do that. I really want to start doing that. I'd love to do some videos, or I just don't know how to try. And it's just this whole thing of stop getting ready to get ready.
Right.
Don't get ready for it. You know, some of the best live streams that I've ever had are when I'm going through the car wash and I have my phone. You know, I have a little magnet
thing,
on my car where I just hang my phone up and I'm just literally having a conversation with whoever the heck logs on. But everyone else gets a chance to see that conversation.
Yeah.
And there's been instances where we get 1,000, 1,500 views upwards
on a real simple video.
On a really simple, really easy video where I was just sitting there chit-chatting about what I was doing that day.
Yeah, and if you're giving good content, once that video posts, people are going to share it.
Yeah.
And it's going to get you more exposure. So obviously putting out good content.
It happens all the time. And it kind of coincidentally, before we got here, we had someone reach out to us who watches us through our Facebook Live videos and whatever postings that we do on social media with a house that they're not able to sell currently, an investor here in town saying, hey, I know you guys know what you're doing. Can you help me with it?
Yeah.
I mean, and you love that. You got to love that because I didn't go out of my way to do it. It's just something that when you get a chance, when you have an extra 30 seconds or a minute, go live.
Yeah.
It is the absolute best way to market right now that people are not taking advantage of.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the one thing is, I hear people say this, well, I don't have anything of value to give anyone. Like, what am I going to go live about? I don't have anything of value.
Do you think Kim Kardashian has anything of value to give anybody?
No, she definitely doesn't.
No.
But people still listen to everything she says. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about whatever you have to say will have value for someone out there.
Pretty much.
somebody out there will get value, whether it's one person or it's a million people. Somebody out there will get value from what you're saying.
I don't know who it was, but I remember at one point I was looking through Facebook, and there was a friend of ours. I think it was Shane, who was sitting there playing video games.
Oh no, he
live.
said his title for his live video was Chillin'.
Chillin'.
And his description was just chilling, playing video games. Come catch me.
Yeah.
And he was literally laying on his couch and had a live stream going of him chilling, and he had 12 viewers.
He had people watching him chill. And then, I get it. If you're out there and you're thinking, well, that's ridiculous, I would never do that. We're not saying go hit the live button while you're chilling on your couch.
Or do it. Who cares?
Right.
It's all about just going live.
But the point is, you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
And
somebody will watch.
And people will watch.
Yeah.
And they will find a way to connect. So I guess the real tip is, what makes you who you are, and how can you share that with the world so that people out there can connect with you at that level?
It's so funny, man, because I've been resistant to going live. For me, it's something that I'm like, I'm one of those guys. I got to get ready, you know? And one of the things was I was hanging out with a friend of mine from Miami, and he goes live for everything.
Yeah.
And we went into the Tesla shop here in the Galleria, and I was asking some questions about Teslas, and he just went live like right there next to me.
Wow.
Next thing we knew, he had like 18 people watching me ask questions about a Tesla.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, like you actually have a little audience of people listening to me ask questions.
Yeah.
And people were asking questions for me to ask the Tesla dealership about their cars.
Yeah.
So you just never know, man.
Yeah.
You never know.
If you're a real estate agent, a loan officer, an investor, what one thing could you go live about that would help you connect with people out there?
And
What do you think people could go out there and say?
And I know Alan just asked that question. For anyone watching, I guarantee you something popped in your head. Go ahead and just go live with that.
Yeah,
and then
just do it.
Yeah, and once you get comfortable, little pro tip out there for people that are comfortable, ready to do it. Get a good light source. So there's some that there's like this white circle that people can get to attach to their phone. That's a good light source. Or get like an actual professional camera set up, and then also a lavalier mic.
Yeah, and those are really, really cheap things to buy.
Yeah.
You can buy them $20 or $30 a piece, and you can sound like a pro.
Yeah.
The next time you're out at a project, or you're touring a house, or you're doing an open house, go live. Let the people know out there what you're doing. And
hey, that's a good idea. I think on the next show, and just so anyone listening, they know it's going to be on the next show, we'll go over some of the equipment that you can actually purchase to make yourself look live that's not going to break the bank.
Yeah.
I think that's a great tip.
Inexpensive way to go live. And it shouldn't cost you more than a couple bucks. So, all right, guys, let's talk about some of the events that we have coming up. We have amazing events happening the rest of the week. We talked a little bit about that in the beginning of the show. Let's talk about it a little bit more, and some of the big events that we have, of course.
Yeah, so tonight there's a big one. Lear One Financial, they're going to be doing their grand opening. That's on our Houston real estate events page.
It's going to be grand.
That's Rudy Zarate and his team. They have free margaritas, free tequila, free beer, mariachi, dancing, door prizes, giveaways. It's going to be freaking amazing.
What do they not have?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, that sounds like everything I could ever want.
Man, I have Star
Midgets
Wars.
wrestling in mud, the whole thing. Yeah,
Wow.
It's gonna be,
really?
It's going to be pretty amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, obviously, Cinco de Mayo. There are a few events going on. I knew New American Funding, they're doing their grand opening of their Sugarland branch right down the street from us. So they're having a Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Nice.
And then next week on the 9th, the Real Estate Social hosted by Noble Mortgage. That's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then on the 17th is Jet Lending and Renters Warehouse. Their happy hour at the Redneck Country Club. That's always a big one. You can catch that one on Houston Real Estate Events as well. And then the 18th, the NAREP event. You want to talk about that one?
The 18th, that's something everyone should be putting on their calendar. This event is all about giving you, the realtor, the loan officer, or anyone out there in real estate, the ability to start growing your team. Not to be the lone wolf doing everything, the jack of all trades, the guy that does all the marketing, the guy that does all the meetings, the guy that does everything. It's about learning how to offset some of these tasks to someone else, and it all starts with hiring your first assistant. So we're going to bring the top performing agents and the loan officer to one stage here in Houston and their assistants, and we're going to ask them exactly how they work. What do those assistants do for them? How they found that assistant? What process did it go through hire them? And what are they doing right now to help each other grow?
Yeah. Ashley, do you remember the first person you hired?
Oh, yeah.
Do they still work with you or not?
Oh, no.
No?
Oh, yeah.
No, I turned my whole staff over probably, I want to say 12 times before I had the right people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That goes to show you.
The entire staff. I mean,
So going to a class that can actually give you some tips on how to hire the right people I would say it's important.
That would save you some money.
Yeah, it might save you some time and some money.
1/12 the cost if you
Exactly.
come to the event, guys.
Make
You
sure
heard it
you
here.
guys come out to that event. Put it on your calendar. It's May 18th. It's a morning event. It's from 9
Yeah, it's
a.m.
brunch.
to 11 a.m. We have some phenomenal partners for this thing, man. I can't wait to share some of this information with you guys. Make sure you stay tuned. If you haven't gone to our page and hit the like button, today's the day. Give us a thumbs up, give us some hearts, but most importantly, liking the page keeps you in the know on every event that we're having, everything that's coming up, all of our upcoming episodes, you name it. Don't forget that you can always drop your questions, comments, concerns below. We're welcome. We want to talk to you guys. We want to chit chat as we're doing the show, and we do it live. So we love being able to help you guys out there. Help your business grow is our goal. Don't forget you're on the Realty Ruckus. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Your life will change. You will be good today.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.